This microcredential deals with tree genetics and consists of 4 targeted skills. This targeted skill deals with forest resources. Half of the U.S.'s forest land is privately owned. These forests are often adjacent to state or national forests. The overall goal for landowners should be the conservation of the forest for future generations by managing valuable resources such as timber, wildlife, and herbs, and protecting soil and water. Silviculture is the term for the science of growing trees, including maintaining and improving a healthy forest. Silviculturists must know how to identify trees, which species are important, and to differentiate the native trees from invasive trees. Native trees have important genetic adaptations for their environment. Silviculturists examine and record data on site concerning stand characteristics to document the status and note of any trends. Hardwoods are broadleaf trees that produce seeds or fruit from flowers. The broadleaf is an adaptation to capture sunlight for photosynthesis. Most hardwoods are deciduous, which means that they lose their leaves each year in the fall. American hardwood forests provide at least 20 species suitable for cabinetry, flooring, millwork, and furniture. Common commercially important hardwood species are oaks, maples, cherry, ash, beech, and birch. Hardwoods, usually identified from the leaves, have either a simple leaf, meaning one main leaf, or a compound leaf that clusters several leaves on the same stem. Another characteristic to look for is leaf placement on the stem. Leaf stems either alternate on a branch or are located directly opposite to each other on the branch. Softwood trees are coniferous and produce seeds from cones. The leaves are adapted as thin needles that give the tree less wind resistance to ensure survival in storms. Needles also give conifers an advantage at water retention, which helps to survive a drought. Most softwood trees do not drop all needles in the fall like hardwood needles drop their leaves. However, softwood trees do lose their oldest needles on a yearly basis. Late in the summer, needles of pine, fir, and spruce trees turn yellow and drop off. Species include the pines that are adapted to specific regions of the U.S., such as the eastern white pines or the prominent western pines, such as ponderosa and sugar pines. Softwoods may be cheaper since the trees grow faster, which accelerates their growing and replacement cycle. Their wood is frequently used for furniture, lumber, or to make pulp for paper. Silviculture, or forest stewardship, requires developing a plan for the stands of trees. A main goal should be determined for the forested area. Some tree species are commercially valuable, but other goals can be environmental, such as improving water quality, offering a buffer between developed areas, or ensuring wildlife habitats. A forest stewardship plan will help establish goals, like periodic thinning of the forest at 10% per year, so as to make space for other trees. Landowners must know how to keep the forest healthy by removing diseased trees or managing invasive insects or plants so that trees with natural resistance can grow and repopulate the forest. Lumber, firewood, and products made of wood are the first things that come to mind when we think of forest products, but there is much more. In addition to the lumber and pulpwood needed to make paper, natural resources and forest products include cork, natural resins, mushrooms, honey, medicinal plants, nuts, and berries. Many medicines originate in the forest. One example is aspirin that was extracted from a compound in the bark and leaves of willow trees. A cancer drug, vincristine, is based on the vinca alkaloids from the periwinkle plant. Ginseng is native to the deciduous forests in the eastern U.S. and has been used as medicine by Native Americans. The overall goal of silviculture is conservation of the forest for future generations. Keeping a healthy tree stand through development of a plan for forest regeneration is the first step in good forest management.